Have you ever sat in your favorite chair, holding a cup of tea and thought, why does it feel like my body's slowing down faster than I expected? Maybe it's a little harder to get out of bed in the morning, or you've started to notice you get tired faster than you used to. Maybe you're not afraid of dying, but you'd really prefer to keep living well. And that's the difference. Most people think that once you hit your mid-70s, your health is just a downhill ride. But that's not true. In fact, there are 5 main reasons people pass away after 75. And the best part? Every one of them is preventable, or at the very least, something you can reduce your risk for with small, consistent habits. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. It's about staying in charge of your health, not leaving it to chance. You deserve to wake up each morning feeling strong, confident, and in control of your body. Let's talk about the first big reason: heart disease. It's the #1 cause of death in people over 75, and it often sneaks up quietly. It doesn't always announce itself with chest pain. Sometimes it's just a little more tiredness than usual, or a heaviness after climbing the stairs. A short walk that feels a bit too long. That's how it begins. But here's the good news. You don't need to become a marathon runner or cut out everything you love to protect your heart. You just need to treat it like a friend. Check in on it. Give it what it needs. Start by paying attention to your plate. A heart loves color: greens, berries, bright orange veggies. It's not about becoming a health nut. It's about balance. Swap out heavy, salty snacks with nuts or fruit. If you love your morning toast, try adding avocado instead of butter now and then. Little changes over time create big results. And let's talk about movement. I'm not going to tell you to run laps, but your heart needs rhythm, just like music. A short walk after dinner. Gentle stretching in the morning. Even dancing around the living room to your favorite old song counts. Movement reminds your heart it still has a job to do. And if it keeps moving, so do you. Now let's move to the second silent threat: falls. Yes, falls. You might be surprised to know that complications from falls are among the top reasons for death after 75. Not because of the fall itself, but what it leads to. A broken hip, long hospital stays, infections. It can be a domino effect. But falls are one of the most preventable risks we face. The trick is to stop thinking of them as accidents and start seeing them as signals. Start by looking at your home like someone seeing it for the first time. Is that rug by the hallway really necessary? Could a small grab bar by the shower make things easier? How's the lighting near the stairs at night? A well-lit hallway isn't just cozy, it's life-saving. And your shoes? Toss out anything slippery or worn out. Choose comfort and grip over style. If you use a cane, use it with pride. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. Now, here's something many people overlook: your balance. Just like muscles, balance can be trained. Stand at your kitchen counter and practice standing on one foot for a few seconds. Then switch. Do it while brushing your teeth or waiting for your toast. These small exercises wake up the nerves and muscles that protect you. Your body is listening. Give it something to do. One more thing. Never ignore lightheadedness or moments where the room feels like it spins. These aren't just senior moments. They can be signs your blood pressure or sugar is off. And when your body's off balance inside, it's more likely to lose balance outside. Talk to your doctor. Ask questions. Stay curious about your body. And now, let's talk about the third reason, something no one likes to mention: respiratory infections. Pneumonia, flu, and now viruses like COVID-19 hit much harder after 75, and they can turn deadly fast. But again, this doesn't mean you need to live in fear. It means being prepared. Start by remembering that your lungs love fresh air. Open the windows when the weather allows. Breathe deeply in the morning. Stretch your chest. Don't hunch forward all day. When you breathe shallow, your lungs get lazy. Keep them strong. Stay hydrated. That helps clear the mucus from your lungs naturally. And yes, take your vaccines seriously. The flu shot, the pneumonia vaccine, and anything else your doctor recommends. These aren't just nice to have, they're your armor. And speaking of breath, watch your breathing when you're walking or doing chores. If you find yourself out of breath faster than usual, don't shrug it off. Your body's giving you clues. Early detection is your best friend. There's no weakness in saying, something feels off. In fact, that awareness might be the very thing that saves your life. The truth is, you are more in control than you've been led to believe. Your 70s and 80s aren't a chapter of decline. They're a season of power. When you know yourself better than ever, and your habits matter more than ever. So far, we've talked about your heart, your balance, and your lungs. 3 quiet guardians of your life. And just by giving them a little more care, a little more attention, you've already started changing the odds in your favor. The next thing we need to talk about, and I know this one hits close to home for many, is cognitive decline. Now, don't tune out just yet. This isn't about frightening you with words like dementia or Alzheimer's. This is about keeping your mind strong, clear, and connected. Because that's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. It often starts small. You walk into a room and forget why. You pause in the middle of a sentence trying to remember a name. It's frustrating, even a little scary. But here's the thing. Your brain, just like your muscles, wants to stay active. It's waiting for you to challenge it. You don't have to learn a new language or memorize poetry to sharpen your mind, unless you want to. But small, daily choices can keep your mental gears turning. Reading each day, even just a few pages of a novel or an article about something new, gets your brain moving. Doing puzzles, playing memory games, or even switching up routines from time to time keeps things fresh. The moment we stop learning is the moment we start to fade. But if you keep your curiosity alive, your brain stays alive with it. And don't underestimate the power of connection. Talking to people, your neighbors, your grandkids, even the checker at the store, those conversations spark something in your brain. Laughter, stories, shared experiences, they all strengthen those neural pathways that matter so much more than we realize. But one of the biggest threats to your mental sharpness isn't just lack of activity, it's isolation. And that brings us to the 4th major reason people over 75 begin to decline faster: loneliness. Now I know, this topic gets brushed aside too often. People think loneliness is just an emotional issue. But it's not. It's physical. Chronic loneliness increases your risk of heart disease, depression, poor sleep, and yes, even early death. It's as dangerous as smoking or obesity, and it's far more common than people admit. It doesn't matter how strong your body is. If your spirit is tired, your health will follow. So let me say this gently. If you feel like the world has gotten quiet around you, you're not alone. A lot of people your age feel the same way. Friends move away, loved ones pass on, and the phone doesn't ring as often. But that doesn't mean connection has to end. You can create it. You can rebuild it. Maybe it starts by showing up to that community center class you've been thinking about. Maybe it's a phone call to someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Maybe it's inviting your neighbor for coffee, even if it's just on the porch. And if mobility or health makes it hard to get out, use technology. You don't have to be a tech genius. A simple tablet, a video call from a grandchild, it's enough. A smile on a screen can still warm the heart. There are even virtual book clubs, support groups, and faith gatherings now, all from your living room. You don't need a crowd to feel connected. You just need a circle, no matter how small. And here's something important. It's never too late to build new relationships. Don't believe the lie that friendship belongs only to the young. Some of the deepest, most meaningful connections happen later in life, because you've lived, you understand more, you know what matters, and you've got so much to give. If you're feeling invisible, speak. If you're feeling forgotten, reach out. You are not done, not even close. Now, I want to mention something else that often goes unnoticed but can tip the scales towards serious illness after 75. It's your immune system. You see, over time, our immune response weakens. It doesn't mean it stops working, but it becomes slower and sometimes less accurate. That's why even a small infection or virus can take a much heavier toll on seniors. It's not just the illness, it's how your body handles it. So how do you strengthen something you can't see? Start by thinking of your immune system like a garden. It needs nourishment, rest, sunlight, and care. That means sleeping well. Not just any sleep, but deep, restful sleep that helps your body repair. If you're waking up tired or tossing and turning, it's worth talking to your doctor. Sleep is when healing happens. It also means staying hydrated. A lot of older adults forget to drink enough water. But dehydration weakens your defenses. If you're not a fan of plain water, try warm herbal teas, fruit-infused water, or soups. Anything that keeps your system flowing and your cells supported. And don't forget your gut. A healthy gut is a strong immune ally. Yogurt, kefir, fiber-rich foods, these aren't just about digestion. They help your body fight off what doesn't belong. What you feed yourself truly becomes your fuel for fighting off sickness. Also, spend time outside. Even a short walk around the block or sitting in the morning sun boosts your vitamin D and improves your mood. Two things your immune system absolutely loves. And yes, wash your hands. It seems simple, but it's still one of the most powerful ways to protect yourself. Your immune system isn't a mystery. It's your oldest ally, your built-in shield. It just needs your help now more than ever. You see, living well after 75 doesn't mean living cautiously. It means living smart. Giving your body and mind the tools they need, not just to survive, but to thrive. And while none of us can control everything, you have more power than you think. Power in your choices, in your routines, in the way you treat your body and connect with others. That's the heart of longevity. It's not just about adding years, it's about adding life to those years. Let's take a breath here. You've made it this far with me, and I want to remind you of something important. Just watching this video means you care about your life, your health, your future. That matters. You're not passive. You're choosing to stay informed, to stay prepared, and that's half the battle already won. We've talked about your heart, your balance, your breath, your mind. Even the quiet ache of loneliness. Each of those holds a key to how long and how well you live. But there's one more we need to talk about. One more risk that often goes unnoticed until it's too late. The fifth and final reason many people pass away after 75 is because of complications from chronic conditions, things like diabetes, kidney disease, or untreated high blood pressure. Not because those conditions start suddenly, but because they slowly wear the body down day by day without being seen. Like a leaky roof, you don't notice it at first, until one day the ceiling caves in. So let's talk about prevention, not just in theory, but in practice. Because living with a chronic illness doesn't mean giving up control, it means adjusting your sails. You can still steer your ship. The key is not ignoring the little things. You know your body better than anyone. If something feels different, new fatigue, swelling in the legs, changes in your weight or appetite, don't chalk it up to just getting older. It might be, yes, but it might also be your body whispering, pay attention. Make those doctor appointments. I know they're not fun. I know sometimes it feels like a lot of poking and prodding for not much change, but those checkups are like tune-ups for your car. You don't wait for the engine to fail before you change the oil, right? Your health deserves the same maintenance. And here's something most people don't realize. Managing chronic illness is often more about consistency than perfection. It's not about eating perfectly every day or exercising for hours. It's about regular, steady habits. It's about taking your medication as prescribed Drinking enough water, keeping an eye on your blood sugar if needed, and knowing your limits. Let's take blood pressure, for example. High blood pressure doesn't usually hurt. That's why it's called the silent killer. You could feel fine for years, all while your arteries are under pressure. But with a simple home monitor and a little routine, you can keep track. It takes less than 5 minutes, and it could literally save your life. Same goes for blood sugar. If you have diabetes or prediabetes, keep your meter nearby. Track your reactions to certain foods. Pay attention to your body after meals. Notice if you get sleepy, dizzy, or extra thirsty. These are signals. You're not being paranoid. You're being proactive. If you struggle with remembering medications, try using a weekly pill box or setting reminders on your phone. There's no shame in needing a system. There's only strength in using the tools that help you stay on track. Now I want to shift into something a little softer. Something that doesn't get measured on charts or test results, but that has just as much power over how long and how well we live, your mindset. After 75, you've likely been through a lot. You've lost people. You've seen changes in your body, in your family, in the world. And sometimes that weariness creeps in, not just in your bones, but in your spirit. But let me tell you this. A positive outlook isn't about ignoring the hard stuff. It's about refusing to give up on the good stuff. The morning sunlight on your porch, the smell of coffee, the laughter of someone you love. These moments are your medicine too. Studies have shown that seniors who feel a sense of purpose, whether it's caring for a pet, tending a garden, volunteering, or simply being there for their grandkids, live longer and report better overall health. Your life has meaning. Still, now, today. That doesn't go away because the calendar changes. And you don't need a big mission. Sometimes your purpose is as simple as being a kind voice in someone else's lonely day. So stay curious. Stay kind to yourself. Stay involved. Here's something else that might surprise you. Joy supports your immune system. Laughter lowers stress hormones. Gratitude lowers blood pressure. You see, it's all connected. Your joy is not separate from your health. It's part of it. I want you to remember that growing older is not a punishment. It's a privilege. And just like any stage of life, it comes with lessons, with opportunities, with second chances. You are not too late for anything that matters. Not too late to move your body. Not too late to learn something new. Not too late to repair a relationship. Not too late to live a day full of beauty and purpose. So as we wrap this up, let me leave you with this. The 5 reasons we've talked about today: heart disease, falls, respiratory illness, cognitive decline, and chronic conditions. Yes, they're real. Yes, they're serious. But they are not your destiny. They're your wake-up call. And the response isn't fear. It's action. Small action. Daily action. Walking a little more. Sleeping a little deeper. Laughing a little louder. Asking questions. Saying no to what doesn't serve you. Saying yes to what lifts you up. You don't need to become someone new to be healthy. You just need to support the incredible body and mind you already have. The one that's carried you through everything so far. You have more time, you have more power, and you have more life ahead.